So first, I think it's only right to start with your why. Now, when it comes to pursuing higher education, for one, off rip, I'm gonna say this from the jump. All right. If you're interested in going to a HBCU, going into higher education, and you're not 100% positive on what you want to do afterwards, that is okay. But you have to at least be able to see yourself within a field. Like, let's say you want to be I don't know, you want to be a STEM major of some sort. Like you want to go into engineering, right? If you want to go into engineering, you better see yourself on the other side as an engineer. If you want to go into like social work or something like that, if you pick a major within that realm, please, like, just essentially all I'm saying is have an idea as to what you can use that degree for on the other side. That's it. Simple as that. Do your research, Google, ChatGPT, whatever, right? Now, the second part of the why in terms of choosing HBCU, right? I think it's important to know where these schools come from. A lot of these schools, believe it or not, were founded by white people. Shocker. Feel me? And that's due to legal barriers that held back the black community for a while. In a lot of the 18th, early 19th century, people, especially in the South, especially, people were literally banned from being able to read and write. In the North, oh, my shit just died. Hello? In the North, it was a little less stringent, but there are still plenty of things in place that were preventing people from getting the proper education, right? Typical segregation. So like very, very rarely did people attend higher education or like go into that type of field during these times. Like if you got into a PWI, you were definitely an outlier and you're 100% facing hostile environments. So the first HBCU ever, Cheney University, is in Pennsylvania, I believe. And that was founded in 1830 something? 1837. I just had to look it up. My bad. But a lot of these early institutions were created not as like a college per se, like what you would typically think as a college, but more so to educate black doctors, teachers, lawyers, and things like that to go back into communities to help them out, right? So, like, if you're going to a segregated school, white people are not that willing to teach at a segregated school, so you need black teachers. So that was like the understanding of being able to pour back into the community, right? Obviously, throughout time and different bills being passed and just different political climates, HBCUs evolved, and even still, they're not getting the same funding as some of these other PWIs, but I believe they're in a better place now than they were before. Debatable. Feel me? But what's crazy to think about is only 3% of colleges are considered historically black colleges or universities. Yet they produce about 50% of the black teachers, 40% of black engineers, and a solid amount of doctors, lawyers, pharmacists, all that, right? 3%, and they produce all that. That was what initially like struck me. I was like, hold up, you mean to tell me a large majority of black people that are going into these positions are coming from HBCUs? So one of the main reasons I decided to go to HBCU was the cultural and social support, right? I believed, and I know to be true, if you go to PWIs, you're going to get a different experience. The beer is going to be out, the White Claws, there's nothing wrong with that. Feel me? That's your tea. Or like just culturally, is different. The music is different. The dancing is different. The how people interact is just different. When you go to a HBCU, you are quite literally in like the womb of the culture. I feel like there's no other way to describe it. Like HBCUs are almost like ahead of, like, financially they might be a little behind depending on what institution you go to, but culturally, education wise, just in terms of like how aware people are of their surroundings, in terms of like the political climate, and also just like head on a swivel type shit. Um, it's just different. You're gonna get more from an HBCU as a black person, I believe. Then there's like the leadership development side, like because HBCUs produce so many of like the black leaders, they're also more willing to come back to those institutions, give back, help out the students, and that's powerful when you see people that are similar in stature that look like you in positions you want to see yourself in, right? And then obviously the reason they came about was simply because of like refusal or of access. Like, we weren't able to go to these institutions, we weren't able to learn these things. So that's how these things developed. And there's a power in that, even in this day and age where most people could go to a PWI or whatever. But choosing to put your money in the HBCU's pockets and to pour back into that community, I think, is a statement in itself. It's like a self-determination thing. Education is essential for just continuously pushing our freedom, equality, and just leadership. So that's the why. This is the first module. I'm so excited to show you guys more. And I don't know. I'm still getting used to this because it's not like a YouTube video. I don't end it like it, whatever.